Welcome everybody to The World is a Mess and I Just Want to Steampunk It. This is episode 44. This is November the 23rd, 2021. I'm your host, Steampunk Star Raisin. I'm here in North Hollywood, California, USA, and I'm here with Daniel Bertizan from Bellwood, Ontario, Canada. So what's
Hello.
going on, Daniel? What's on your mind?
Well, today I went to see my psychologist. I got a lot off my chest, and I talked about a lot of things. Apparently, she moved buildings. Now she's located. Her office is located in a building. It's like an abandoned motel. It's like where they're gonna put people that can't work, like people on disability.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like she's working in that building, and I'm like, wow, and I asked her, have they started work on this building yet? And she's like, no, like they haven't started working yet. And I'm thinking, oh my God, like it's almost the end of November and they still haven't worked on that building on that building yet. And that's just like, so they're probably, if I'm lucky, they're gonna start working on it in December, and it's gonna take them like over a year to finish, right? So
you got to be patient. I mean, something's better than nothing. Get in the loop. Don't be too picky. Grab what you can get.
yeah, but the thing is, that building is a ship operated building, which means that like it may be 1/3 of my income if I go there, right? I think she said it will be because it's a ship owned building.
Well, if it's run by if the property management is a social worker, more than likely it's 1/3 of your income.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do it if it's not 1/3 of your income, because you need money for food and transportation costs and utilities.
Yeah, and the thing is, everything else is over $1,000 each, like a month, right? And that's
Well, yeah,
just
that's very typical, especially even here in America.
yeah. So I think it's in my best interest to wait for that building because I'm going to run out of money if I get anything else, right? So
Well, of course, yeah. So that's why you've told her your situation. She knows your situation. She's going to hook you up. It's more likely going to be 1/3 of your income because you are doing it through social worker. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Canada is a little different than the United States, so I'm not familiar with social services in Canada. I am a little bit more familiar with social services in California. The most familiar, actually, but like other states vary, in the United States. But yeah, Canada, Ontario specifically, I'm not familiar, but it sounds like, this sounds like a good thing. So I would get in there if you can.
Yeah, definitely.
You can do it. You just
nice
got to be
building.
patient, and I think it'll be good to so that you can progress.
Yeah, it looks like a nice building too. It's right next to the mall, but the mall is like all. It's not the same as it used to be. So I guess.
What do you mean it's not the same?
No, well, it's not the same. It's a strip mall. You know what a strip mall is, right? It's like it's like a mall without like a hallway to walk in or something.
Yeah.
And it's like the malls nowadays are changing. They're changing.
They are moving more to strip malls because air conditioned malls with indoor area are very expensive to run, and retail has been in decline because it's moving to online, the internet.
Oh.
So
okay.
It's not going to be the same as it used to be. I mean, like where I'm from, Pensacola, Florida, used to have 3 malls. Now it's down to 1 because the other 2 shut down. One shut down and was torn down. And then there was another one that was shut down and was mostly torn down, and they converted it from an indoor mall to a strip mall. So yeah, it's expensive to run those malls, and if you're not able to maintain full tenants in the building, then you're not going to have enough income to be able to cover your basic electric costs or property tax. So yeah, malls are not what they used to be. That was like the heyday of like the 70s and the 80s, and they've been in decline I would say since the 90s. Most malls have either shut down or have downsized, are converted to strip malls.
Oh, really? I thought they were going really good in the 90s. Well, because the 90s was my
I said
decade.
since the 90s. Since the 90s.
Okay.
That the 90s is when they started going into decline, at least from what I can tell.
Oh. Yeah, because you know what? I've noticed that. Yeah, I thought the same thing. Like they probably converted it into a strip mall because they don't want to pay so much money for like electricity and air conditioning and all that stuff. They want to cut down costs and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it sucks. And all the good all the good stores are gone. All the good stores are gone. Zellers is gone. Zellers was like Kmart. That's gone. Target is gone. There was a Target once. It moved very briefly.
Well, I know that, yeah, in Canada, Target, they shut down all their stores. I don't know why that is. I'd have to do some research, but we still have Targets here in LA.
Yeah. I really wish I went inside when I had the chance, but I kept on saying later, and then I missed my
later than goodbye, Gator.
Yeah. But every time you say later,
it'll be okay. The future is going to be like Mad Max, and then the entire North American continent will be like one big mall graveyard. You just shop through and grab what you need, as long as you don't get shot in the head while you're doing it.
Or you don't run into zombies.
Well, there won't be any zombies. There'll just be a lot of hungry people who look like zombies.
So yeah, yeah. So, you just reminded me. Speaking of Mad Max, you remember Logan?
Logan.
That was
the movie Logan?
Yeah, the last
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
What about it?
It was nothing like the comic books. It was nothing like the comic books at all.
I know that.
In you read Old Man Logan?
Well, I read Wolverine The End. They were doing a series of comics. Now, these hypothetically took place in a different universe, or only loosely attached to the main Marvel universe, but you had like Fantastic Four The End. I never read that in comic, but this was back in like 2005. They had a mini series called Wolverine The End, and it was supposed to show how Wolverine died. And it takes place in a distant future. And Wolverine's like the last surviving X-Men, and it's like post-apocalypse.
Yeah, somebody tricked him.
So civilization's falling apart, and Wolverine's like living out in the desert, and it's Wolverine versus Red Skull. And Red Skull apparently has defeated the majority of the Avengers, and he's got like Captain America's shield. He's got like Iron Man's suit of armor on display case, and he has like a little fortress to himself.
Yeah, I'm thinking, how did he defeat
and Red
Thor?
Skull by this point, he's hundreds of years old, as is Wolverine, and there's not that many people left alive, let alone heroes or villains. And Red Skull's kind of gone insane, and he's taken on the mantle of Captain America, and he's wearing the costume and wearing the shield of Captain America, and like Wolverine kills him. I can't remember. I didn't. It's been a long time since I read the comic, but Wolverine The End was pretty interesting. That had like an elderly Wolverine versus Red Skull.
Yeah,
but I only read part of it. I didn't read all of it, but yeah, it was an interesting story. Actually, that might have been. Real quick.
Why is it? It says here.
Hold on a sec. Let me see. Go ahead. What was your question?
It says here it's in an alternative version of the Marvel universe.
I just told you that.
I know that, but I'm like, this is what I keep on thinking. It's the future of the Marvel universe, but I don't know. I think people get confused.
Well, it's the future. They don't want to lock it down. It's the future in an alternate universe. like I said, it's loosely connected to the main universe, but
Yeah.
they don't want to set in stone what's going to happen to the character because then it'll
Yeah.
spoil it and you have no reason to read the comics. Yeah, it came out in 2007, Wolverine The End. But it was interesting. It was like Wolverine versus Red Skull, and Red Skull seems to idolize Captain America so much that even though he defeated him and killed him, and he had his costume and his shield, he ends up taking on the mantle of Captain America, and he becomes like Red Skull Captain America. It's like really weird, but it was an interesting comic. I don't know. Let me look on eBay. Let me see if I can even get that. There was a mini series. I think it was a 4-issue mini series, but it was really interesting.
Yeah, I think someone tricked Logan into killing the X-Men. Like, I think it was like it was like Mysterio or something was what
Buy
tricked
it
him.
now.
Yeah, just like, whoa.
I'm looking it up on eBay. Oh, it's a trade paperback. What is that? Is that the full? I used to have it, but when I got low on money, I sold off the majority of my comic book collection.
Mhm.
Here's somebody selling all 4 issues for $14.
I mean, you can like, what the way I saw it was I looked at online. People actually make YouTube videos and they can show like the whole thing. So you know, people don't have to read comic books anymore. They can just go online.
Well, yeah, you got to have a subscription, and then you got to purchase. I don't really like Marvel's digital system of comics, or at least I haven't tried the app lately, but the way it used to be, it was $5 or $6 to subscribe to a comic, and digital copy wasn't any cheaper than buying a printed copy. And I'm like, well, if I'm gonna have to pay $5 or $6 for a comic book, I might as well just get the printed copy, because then I at least have something that has some value, even if it is only worth 50 cents. I
Mhm.
like to have a tangible copy if I'm going to pay that much. Now, if they were to reduce the cost of digital copies to like $1 each, then that might be more worth it. But considering that they're exactly the same price as a printed copy, to me, it's not a good value.
Mhm.
But yeah, I used to be a hardcore collector of comic books. I'm not really anymore. Kind of too poor for that. But
So, like, you know, now that okay, they're gonna do massive reshoots on Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, and they got the people. The reason why they're doing this is because they got the people that they wanted, but they couldn't get before.
okay, so we're shifting topics. We're now moving
Yeah.
on to Doctor Strange. Okay.
Exactly. So this goes into the old man Logan thing. I mean, the possibility. Hugh Jackman's coming into Multiverse of Madness, and then the rumor has it that he's going to fall into the MCU at the end, right? Like, Wanda's going to beat him up or something, and then she's going to collapse. Either she's going to collapse that Fox universe into the MCU, or Wolverine is going to fall into the MCU. Either or. And then, you know, the rumor has it that after he falls into the MCU, he's going to be in 3 movies. Deadpool 3, Wolverine versus Hulk. We've been waiting for that for a long time. Wolverine versus Hulk. And like, that's Hugh Jackman's Wolverine versus Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. And then finally Secret Wars. And that'd be cool.
We'll see.
But you know what? If we're really lucky, he may do a 4th movie, because like Hugh Jackman, that's like going to be a variant version of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, a variant. We know what variants are because of Loki, right? So, you know,
Yeah.
If we're lucky, they can do an old man Logan MCU version, not the crappy Fox version, the actual real old man Logan, where he goes around an apocalyptic MCU and he fights Red Skull, right? But I'm thinking Red Skull versus Wolverine. Come on,
Well, Red
Wolverine can
Skull
kill.
has technology. He's like a super genius, so he has technology. So,
Yeah, but like the super soldier serum didn't really work on him. It didn't give him the strength of Captain America.
but it gave him like immortality.
It did?
Well, yeah, because he's like in Wolverine the End, Red Skull's like hundreds of years old. Now he may have enhanced his life through technology, but yeah, but by this point, Red Skull's like living in a fortress alone. He's very isolated. There's not too many people left on Earth. And all the Avengers are dead, and he's got trophies of, like a suit of Iron Man's armor. He's got Captain America's uniform and shield. He's got all these trophies from Avengers that in this alternate timeline that he's killed off, and he's kind of gone insane through his isolation. And he now thinks he's Captain America, or he's like Captain America Red Skull. So yeah, it's interesting.
It's weird though. Like, how did I saw Thor's helmet? I think it was Thor's hammer there too. Like, how did Red Skull kill Thor? He can't kill.
I don't know. That could be another comic book series where there's an alternate timeline where Red Skull kills the Avengers. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying it's weird, like, because like in reality, Thor would break Red Skull like an egg.
Well, I said Red Skull uses technology. He doesn't really have any superpowers to speak of. He just has technology.
I really, if they do this, I really hope that Hugo Weaving comes back as the Red Skull. That'd be so cool.
Well, the problem with Red Skull is every time they introduce him, they immediately kill him off in the MCU. Like, the original Red Skull, well, I guess he's still sort of alive. He's now like a guardian of that one realm. What was the realm? But anyway,
wait, hold on.
And then they introduce Red Skull in What If, and then he gets killed off almost immediately. So
oh yeah. Shumagorath kills him.
Yeah. But in Avengers Endgame, he's like a guardian of some realm. I can't remember the name of it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where Gamora died, and then later Black Widow died.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. I don't know the name of that. Vormir.
Boromir, yeah. So he's like the guardian of Boromir, but he's not himself. He's like lost all emotion.
Yeah, and he's floating. It's weird. How is he floating? That's weird. They got to explain that.
He's got a new set of superpowers. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. They never explain these things. They just, because you're like, oh, that'd be too expensive, and let's just say he picked up some things, like, okay. Or maybe the Space Stone did something to him.
It's possible that, he ate too many red peppers. And then the red peppers not only turned his face red, but it provided gas propulsion so that he could hover through the air.
Mm-hmm.
Gas propulsion out of his anus.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a joke. I don't know if you could tell from my dry.
Yeah, it was a joke. Yeah. So, they're filming Guardians of the Galaxy 3 now. I am so excited. I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And, I think that something is going to make it through. Something from the multiverse is going to make it through to Guardians, right? Because, like, the multiverse...
Who knows? When you're dealing with time travel and multiverses and parallel universes, anything's possible.
Mm-hmm. So wait, let's see. There's nothing for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Let's just see what's in. Well, we only have a few more.
Hold on a sec. I'll be right back.
So yeah, it's how many more days we gotta wait? Hold on. All right, so we have so wait, the 14th, right? So 7, 14, Oh, we got 21 days left. 21 days until. No, wait, hold on. Yeah. 14 more days left until Spider-Man No Way Home. Yay. Let's see. Hold on. So, oh my God, there's so much coming. There's so much coming in Marvel. I am so excited. So much.
All right, I'm back. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Sorry about that, folks. I had to make an emergency pit stop to the toilet. Something I ate earlier didn't agree with me. Oh, I think it was that turkey. Anyway, I had a doctor's appointment today, and at the doctor's office, they were giving away turkey dinners, but it tasted good, but something didn't agree with me because I had a little runny to the toilet. I don't want to get too gross about that. Anyway, so we got about 9 minutes left. Any other things you want to talk about?
So, anyways, so yeah, it's going there's so many fun things coming, and I just can't wait.
All right. Sounds exciting.
No, man, but you can't wait either, right? Yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Wolverine possibly coming back to the MCU. Or not coming back, but Hugh Jackman coming in.
Well, who knows? I could be interesting. Just want a good story.
Tom Holland, Spider-Man leaving the MCU and being exiled into the Sonyverse.
Who knows?
Nobody likes Tom Holland Spider-Man. Nobody. Everybody's like, he sucks. He's like this little kid who put on the Spider-Man suit.
Well, he has, he seems younger than he seems like he's like 14 or something. He's a very young version of Spider-Man, and I don't like how he's totally dependent on Tony Stark's technology.
When he first came on, he was 13 or 14 or something.
I don't know. I think he's supposed to be 16 or something, but
and you know what?
It is what it is.
He still looks.
My favorite version of Spider-Man was Tobey Maguire, but I didn't like Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 sucked.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You didn't like Sandman?
Sandman was okay, but still the story sucked. And the way they portrayed Venom sucked. And the way they betrayed Green Goblin Jr. sucked. It was just bad. The emo Peter Parker sucked.
Did you think his wife was hot? Sandman's wife's hot?
Yeah.
Dude, Sandman's wife was hot.
Sandman what?
Sandman? He had a wife?
Yeah.
She was hot.
Awesome.
You see that blonde lady?
I don't remember. It's been so long since I've seen it.
Maybe I'll send you a picture if I can find it.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
But do you think Aunt May is the actress who played Aunt May in the Remy movie? She was already really old in 2002. You think she's still around? I mean, I'm gonna.
I don't know.
I think I'm gonna check it out right now. Hold on. Because everybody's like, "Oh, MC." Because everybody's like, MCU Aunt May is hot.
Yeah.
And she's like a MILF.
Well, yeah, that was another thing. I don't like the MCU version of Aunt May. They turned her into like a hot, attractive MILF. I didn't really care for that version of Aunt May because I always thought of Aunt May as like a sweet old grandma like character, like the comic books. So I thought they strayed a little bit too far from the source material with the MCU version of Spider-Man. But I did like Mephisto. That reminded me of like a classic Spider-Man versus Mephisto fight. I thought that was cool. And then unfortunately they killed him off after only one movie. But it is what it is.
Oh yeah.
But considering that they're introducing the multiverse in the MCU in Spider-Man No Way Home, it looks like a very interesting movie. I look forward to seeing it.
Mm-hmm. Holy shit! Wow, like the actress that played Aunt May in that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man
Sally
movie.
Fields, I think.
No, Rosemary Harris.
Rosemary Harris.
She was born in September 1927.
Oh, cool. So she's still hanging on.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say. It doesn't say nothing here, so I think she's still around. She looked pretty nice when she was younger.
Most people do.
In 1962. This is a picture of her in 1962.
Cool.
One second. Let's see. Yeah, right here.
Okay.
Yeah, wow, that's cool.
Cool.
She seems. Yeah, I mean, the actor who played Alfred in the guy who played Alfred in the Michael Keaton Batman movies. He was born in 1916. Yeah.
Oh wow, is he still around?
No. He died. He died in 2011.
That's unfortunate.
Remember we were talking about this. We were like, it's
what?
It's unfortunate that they waited this long to make a sequel to like it's not really a sequel, but a continuation of the Tim Burton Batman universe, because they could have gotten Alfred back, but he died in 2011. So
the Tim Burton Batman universe for the most part is dead. I'm sure that they'll pay some homage to it. There'll be cameos, but I don't think there's going to be another full Tim Burton Batman movie.
Well, the universe is kind of continuing still, sort of.
Well, kind of, but I said I don't think there'll be a full-out movie just based in that universe.
Yeah, I mean,
they're gonna pay homage to it through the multiverse, but we shall see.
Yeah, and now they're gonna pay homage to a lot of different universes in the multiverse now, thanks to these movies.
Yeah, I hear that they are pretty much going to make all the Marvel movies canon, to the multiverse. So that'll be interesting. We'll see how that goes.
And now we gotta wait until like May.
I still haven't even gotten around to seeing Eternals, but I just wasn't that interested.
Yeah,
I wasn't really that interested based on the trailer. It looked kind of boring.
Well, you know what? If you saw Eternals, it is kind of boring. It's nothing special. It really isn't anything special. It's like
we're out of time. We got to wrap up. Anyway, Thank you for joining me, Daniel. This has been your host, Steampunk Star Raisin of amberstreet.com. This is The World is a Mess, and I just want to steampunk it podcast. And this has been episode 44 of November the 23rd, 2021. This is Steampunk Star Raisin of amberstreet.com. You have a nice day, and I will see you 25 billion years. I will.
Bye.